In this short video clip, what we're going to talk about is organizing your Google Drive. Once you log into Google Drive, you should be able to see all of your files and all of your folders if you've created any. If you haven't started organizing, what you're going to see is that you have lots and lots of files. And it's going to be harder for you to keep track of all those files unless you start to organize by creating folders. So if you decide you want to organize your Google Drive, what you would do is use the Create button, and you can create new folders. You can create as many folders as you would need. So if I want to create a new folder, I'm going to click on Create Folder, and then it's going to have me rename that folder, so I can rename it anything I want. If I'm creating lesson plans for my classroom, I might do it by unit. So I might say Unit 1 Lesson Plans. So when I want to drag something into that folder, I would find the folder where it says Unit 1 Lesson Plans. I see over here on my Drive where it says Unit 1 Lesson Plans. But before I start dragging things into that folder, I want to show you how you can organize your folder. After you create a folder, you'll see that you have a little drop-down arrow for the folder. If you use your drop-down arrow for that folder, you will notice that you have extra choices. And one of those is to change the color of your folder. This is a nice tool you can use in Google Drive. So I can color code my folders, and it might make it easier for me to find things. So if I want to do all of my unit plans in purple, I can do all of my unit plans in purple, and I will know when I see purple that those are unit plans. Just a neat way you can organize. So you can go to any folder, use the drop down arrow next to the folder, click Change Color, and you can change it to any color you want. So you can color code your drive to make it easier for you to find things. I'm going to go back to my drive, and I'm going to find something that I want to put into my Unit 1 lesson plan folder. Once you find a document you want, you can just drag it and drop it right into that folder. So I could go ahead and drag it and drop it into my Unit 1 lesson plan folder. I'm going to go ahead and do that so you see what that looks like. So you can drag and drop. If I click on Unit Plan Lesson 1, I'm going to see that I drug that document and dropped it in there. Now there's usually more than one way to do something. You'll notice right now that we're under Unit 1 Lesson Plans. If I click on My Drive, it'll take me back to my full drive. If I want to move something besides dragging and dropping, I can check mark in front of the document that I want to move. And up here, once I check mark that document, you see that I get an extra menu bar that pops up. If I uncheck that, you'll notice that it disappears. So when you check mark something, you'll get an extra box that pops up, and under More, you have the option to move it somewhere. So you could check mark your document, go to More, and say Move To, and then you could decide where you wanted to move it to. So I want to move it to Unit 1 Lesson Plans. I click on that and I say Move. So that's another option for you. You are able to select more than one document and move them all at the same time. So if I decide I want to move 3 or 4 or 5 documents, I can move them all at the same time. If I select them all, I can drag them and drop them over. You'll notice that it says I'm moving 6 items. Or I can go up to More, Move To, and then I can choose where I want to move it to. And I would be moving 6 items, all 6 of them that I have check marked. And I can click Move To, and it's going to move all those items into the folder that I chose. Now if I go back to Unit 1 Lesson Plans and I click on it, I'm going to see all those files that I just moved there. If you've moved something by accident, you can check mark all of them at once, or you can check mark one at a time and move them back to My Drive. So if I wanted to move something back to my drive, I could either drag them over one at a time and drop them into my drive, Or I could check mark all of them, drag them over to my drive, or go to More and say Move To, and choose my drive and move them all back to my drive. So it's very easy to organize your drive. I suggest if you're going to have a lot of files that you should probably organize by folders to make it easier for you. While we're talking about organizing your drive, you can also make some changes to existing files or folders. If I have renamed something and I've misspelled it or I've named it wrong, I can check mark in front of that document. This one happens to be a folder. And when I check mark in front of that document, I have more choices. I can rename that document. So if I want to rename this folder, I can just click on Rename, and then I can go ahead and rename that any way I choose. I can do the same thing for a document. So if I scroll down and find a document, I can check mark my document, go up to More, and choose Rename. So I can rename a document. It's as simple as that. If you notice under Document, once you check mark a document and you go to More, you also have other options. You have an option to add a star, and that's going to let you know that something's important to you. If I say add a star, I'm going to go ahead and click add a star. It's going to put it in my starred section. So if I go over here to my drive, I'm just going to collapse the view from my drive so that I don't see everything. I have my drive, shared with me, starred, recent, and trash. If I click on starred, now I'm going to see that document that I put in there with a star. So that might be useful to you if you have a few documents that are really important and you want to use them on a regular basis and you want easy access to them. So if you star it, they're going to show up in the starred section. But you also know where it's saved at. So this is in my drive. I'm going to go ahead and click back on my drive. You can also clean up your drive. So if you decide that you don't want something anymore, you can delete it. So if I decide I don't need a folder anymore, I can check mark the folder and I can come up here to the trash can and I can say remove. If I click remove, it's going to put it in my trash. If you've done that by accident, all you have to do is click on the trash can, go into your trash, find that, and restore it. So here's the file I just deleted, the folder. I'm going to check mark that folder, and I'm going to say I did this by accident. I want to restore this. If you choose to delete something forever from your trash, you're not going to be able to get that back. But you are able to restore. So if you're organizing and you delete something by accident, you can restore that document. If I click on my drive, I'm going to see that that folder came back because I restored that folder. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to check mark a document, and I'm going to use the More button and show you you also have different options such as preview. You can decide what you're going to open that document with. You can share that document with others. You can email it to collaborators, or you can email it as an attachment. Of course, you can star things. You can check out the details and activity. You can move it, rename it, and you can even make a copy if you want an extra, like a backup copy of a file. You can download it to your computer, or from here you can also remove it. But remember, when it says remove, that's your trash. You're going to get those same menus at the top of your screen. You have the Share menu, the Move To menu, the Remove, and the Preview button. So those are some choices for you when you're trying to organize your drive. When you're organizing your drive, you also have some search options. At the top of your screen, you should have a search box, so you can type in the name of a document that you're looking for, and you can search for it that way. Or you can use the drop-down arrow at the end of that search box. It's called Advanced Search Options, and when you do that, you can decide what you're going to search for. Am I going to search all documents, folders. Am I just going to search for drawings, images, PDF files, presentations, spreadsheets, forms, text documents, videos, and tables? Am I going to search for things that are public on the web, anyone who has a link that I've shared, private, or am I going to search documents that are owned by me or not owned by me? So there's some options here that might help you when you're searching. The other thing you can do when you're searching is choose whether you're going to search by title, which will put it in alphabetical order, or you can even change if you're going to search by the modified date. So I can say last modified by me or last edited by me. Those are some different choices that you can use when you're trying to search for documents.